scarcely 60 years old. And got colon cancer and died from it, so it was very tragic. And had he been able to deal with it, who knows, maybe he'd be around today. But Christ, if he was around, he'd be in his late 70s. And Uncle Willie, God knows what took him out, but he had his own issues to deal with, as we all do. Look at something here. See, I'm in
the cat just farted on
what you call
Thanks,
survey.
dude. Stinky, but stinky. Ever be farted on by a cat?
I've got all the unnecessary lights shut off. Except for some Christmas lights that are running on a step-down transformer, so they produce a certain amount of light. The computer monitor from the low-power FM station is shut off because of the illumination factor, so the only light there is that of the greenish glow of the phosphor of the Scopy-Dope, the trippy blue glow of the little mini 816 mercurial vapor rectifiers that I stuck in the power supply to the TCS, as well as the hollow state rectifying devices that are in there as well. I never solid stated the supply. I could have, but
Hi, Charlie, I hear you.
I decided to leave well enough alone and got rid of the 5R4s and put the 816s in there. I've always loved those mercury vapor tubes. I don't know if you've ever experienced those, Perry, but they're really something to behold. W3MMR and WA1H Yellar.
Yeah, I heard Charlie breaking in, and I think there was somebody else there. Wasn't able to catch him. Good morning, Charlie. Real quick before I forget, Tim, do you remember a few years back when I was telling you I came across Bill DUQ's transmitter? Do you remember that?
Yeah, in fact, he took photos of it, and I got it on the cooler somewhere. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's mine now. My buddy who had it, or who still has it, I told him, I said, look, he was going to try to get it working and all this stuff, and he's an 11-meter guy, and he was trying his best, I guess, but I guess he just doesn't have time, and I asked him, I said, look, I said, if you ever get rid of it, please, if I can only ask you one thing, call me first. And he called me and said I could come get it for free. So I just got to go out there and get it. So, and he lives relatively close to me, so I just got to get it and find some room here to keep it. So, but that transmitter is mine now. So I figured you'd like to hear that and keeping it all in the family, so to speak, you know. So we'll be coming back to the home of a 75-meter operator. So I'm pretty excited about that. This is just, I haven't even had a chance to tell you, this has only been about a week or two since he told me, so called me, so there you have it. And I don't have any rigs with mercury vapor tubes in them, but I've seen photos and seen videos of them. That nice glow, the blue glow, and purple, you know, they're really, really cool looking, man. They're nice ambiance, you know. So good stuff. I'm surprised there's not a bunch of other people keying up, because I guess the net, old Milrad net, here in about 12 minutes. God, it's already 5 o'clock already. So I'll turn it over to you, Charlie. Keep it moving here. And then I guess there was another breaker. We'll pick them up quickly, and we'll get and we got Kevin in there, DMX. We got to get back in there, and then Timmy's still in there too. So, M1XZW in the group, W3MMR. Good morning, Charlie.
W3MMR and 1XVW. Yeah, I heard Tim. I said good morning to Tim, but I think I may have doubled with him because I unkeyed and he was talking when he was CQing earlier on. Bill's in there as well, WA4DDH. Good morning, Kevin. And good morning, all others who are standing by waiting for 5 o'clock. Yeah, I didn't hear the braking station at all, whoever it was, in between the last transmissions there. Anyway, if you're out there, whoever the braking station was, and the other 30 that are going to jump in now, because I'm going to let go of the key, and all hell's going to break loose. If it hasn't while I was talking, because I'm so this week, half the people out there don't hear me. And Timmy, you went to the Charlie can no longer hear you antenna when you change the antennas. That long haul antenna does not work well at my house. Well, I'll tell you what, Kevin picked it up, but we will drag your feet a little bit and listen to all the young people on XVW.
No audio.
Good morning, Karen.
Yeah, hey, Bill. Bill, pick it up real quick and send it up to Kevin DMX. We'll get you in here. Go ahead, Bill.
I have no audio.
WA4DDH. On your Collins 32V3 this morning, 75A1 receiver. I'm hearing Kevin, I hear Timmy in there and Charlie. Bane's real short this morning, Perry, so they might not be hearing me. Let me turn it over to
SNG.
Hey, Glenn. Yeah, I decided to switch back to the dipole as the static levels from storms west were just about burying Charlie. I could hear Bill DDH a bit. So maybe the conditions are improving. I don't know how long I'm going to be around here. Harry, that's very, very good news on getting Bill's amplifier. So once you get the thing and you manage to have a good look at it, I don't travel around like I used to. But there may come a time, either that or we'd meet at a ham fester like Muirfest. And the thing I did not see, you see, with Bill's Luminar amplifier, he used 5868s, which are industrial heating triodes. They're basically an Amprex tube. It is very similar to an 833 as far as electrical characteristics are concerned, but much better at higher frequencies than 833s. So, there may be missing pieces, parts, I don't know what's left of the tank circuit or anything like that. I know there were some photos taken, but his plate supply was, his station was in one end of his trailer that he used to have. It was just in the back end. And, the closet with the folding steel doors. He had the power supply in there on the floor. He had a big UTC CG series plate transformer, one of the largest in the series. The choke input filter would deliver up to 4,000 volts. So we could wind the plate voltage right up to it, which he never really did. He did on a couple of occasions, but most of the time he'd have it variac down to, 3 kV or something like that. And being that those tubes are medium U tubes, he had a fixed adjustable bias supply on the grids. I think, it was a cathode-driven amplifier. So it was pretty effective. I think if I had that thing to do over, 5868s are floating around, but I think rather than that, I'd make use of it and put a pair of 41000s in there. They may fit because the 5868 and the 41000 take the same socket. But you could really make something out of that. It could be like the Uncle Willie the amplifier, second generation. W3MMR from WA1HLR. I think the old military radio net will be firing up here shortly.
Yeah, a couple minutes here. So let me get Glenn in here real quick. Glenn, go ahead, pick it up, and make one, and send it to me, bud. Good morning, Glenn.
Yeah, W3MMR, WA1HLR, and the remainder of the group. Just got down here kind of late. Been oversleeping a lot these days, but anyway, great signals all the way around, and a lot of talk of amplifiers going on and things, kind of neat stuff. Just on the ART-13 this morning, listening on the SB600. The band seems to be in pretty good shape. I heard Charlie in there. Good morning to you, Charlie, and Kevin. WADMX, light copy, but Charlie was coming in here okay. Yeah, we got, I think we got about 39 degrees here this morning, so not too bad. Good way to start the day. Other than that, we'll get it right back to you, Perry. I don't know who's in control this morning, but thanks for getting me in. W3MMR N1 SNG.
Yeah, just dragged my feet for a second there. Okay, Glenn, well, good morning to you. Great signal down this way. And Bill, WA4DDH, man, good signal on the Collins this morning. Really, really strong up here this morning, Bill. Good to hear you, man. The 32V3 sounding good, Bill. Good to hear you. And Kevin, DMX, always a pleasure to hear you as well. And I don't know what transmitter you're on this morning, Kevin. I don't know if you mentioned you are a little lighter than normal, and maybe a little bit of FMing going on. with the audio there, but I do hear you in there. So good morning to you, Kevin. Always a pleasure to hear you, and good to hear everyone as always, Charlie. And I guess, yeah, we are coming up to net time here quickly. So I'll just keep it moving. And Tim, yeah, we'll continue this discussion about the amplifier on and off the air. Maybe I'll write you an email or something. We go back and forth. I'll give you my phone number. But it is something that I definitely want to dig into and get back on the air for sure. Obviously for many reasons, if not just a nostalgic reason, you know what I'm saying? So okay, back to you, Tim, quickly, and then we'll send it over to Net. W3MMR.
83HT, good morning.
How you doing there, Steve? Yeah, we'll stay incommunicado there, Perry. I'd be pleased to help you out. Go ahead there, Steve.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. It's Kilo Delta 3 Hotel Tango. Steve here in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And good morning, guys. Everybody sounds good. I echo what Perry said both ways. Kevin is a little bit lighter in here than normal, but your signal is good and strong. So, great job, atmosphere. And a little bit of crunches. Just look quickly at the outside temperature here, about 40 degrees, right around Lake New Glen, and it does look like there's some rain and stuff off the coast, which is probably where the crunchies are coming from, but the crunchies aren't too bad here this morning. They're there, but they're not huge crunchies. And I'm running an ART-13 and listening on an AirSpy HF Plus with other receivers in possible use. And calling the old military radio net. This net meets weekly here, 0500 on the Big 85, 3885 or thereabouts, to discuss and keep in mind old military radio equipment, or new, or any, no matter. Just talking about radio in general with a military flavor. Anyway, this week I'm going to be net control. Brown is still out and about, perusing people's collections and looking for the few things he doesn't have, I guess. And so, with that, I have heard this morning N1XCW, WA4, DDH Bill, WA-DMX Kevin, WA1HLR Tim, W3MMR Perry, N1SNG Glenn. And came in here, Perry, when you were mentioning that you are going to pick up Bill's amplifier. So very good. Let's see if there's anyone else wishing to join the old military radio net this morning. Please call now. This is KD3. Knocked over by all the big signals. Well, that's a start. We'll get started with this group. So again, Charlie, send it to you, over to Bill, WA4DDH, to Kevin, WA-DMX, Tim, WA1HLR, Perry, W3MMR, Glenn, N1SNG, and then back to me here, KD3HT. So, go ahead, Charlie, pick it up, KD3HT.
Good morning, Steve. KD3HT, N1XZW, in the old military radio net. Hope everybody's hearing me this morning. The band is so-so here. When you first came in, Steve, I almost didn't hear you, and all of a sudden it seemed like you started to climb, and by the time you were done your transmission, you were way up in the clear. I don't know. I guess the band is just waking up as well as the rest of us. Anyway, not much new to talk about here. I definitely haven't done anything radio. I really need to though. I'm thinking, another antenna is in the works. I've had a bunch of different ideas, but I think I'm going to try and go slightly conventional. I'm going to put up a dipole for 80 meters, but it's not going to be in a straight line. It's going to be in kind of a V configuration. Don't know how well that's going to work, but I do have two trees that are suitable, but they're in the wrong direction. So we're going to take a shot at it anyway. See what happens. Never know. I haven't had one in a long time. I put one up before I had my license, before I had my general license to try out a Kenwood 850 that I had, and a friend of mine who was licensed came over and I went third party on it, and I worked a few stations on 80 meters, but I never really got to find out how well it worked because by the time I got my general license, the squirrels had eaten the ropes that held it up and it had fallen down. So I gotta learn by my mistakes. The squirrels like to eat ropes. It's like you're invading their property there. When you put a rope up over a tree, they say, "Whoa, wait a minute! This guy's coming in on our territory." So this time around, I'll probably use some wire instead of rope to secure it over the tree. Anyway, over to you there, Bill. I heard you this morning lightly, but I didn't get back to you too much because it was a struggle. I was just barely hearing you. Maybe it's gotten better by now. WA4DDH to take it. N1XZW.
Go ahead, Kevin. W8DMX, K3HT.
Oh, I guess that means me, eh?
Yes, it is. Your turn, Bill.
Okay, I do hear you in there, Kevin. I guess you're on a rice box. It does sound a little slop-buckety. You go into a selective feed and it almost sounds like you're on a sideband, and it hurts the comparability, but, you know, what are you going to do right now? Oh, good. Yeah. So, I've been in here for a while. I'm on the TCS set. I like being in a military uniform here. Yeah, to take the time to work on the R13 and have a good idea what I screwed up in it. Get that thing going. I've got 2 others that I could play around with and get it going, as I've always been impressed with the ART-13, and mine worked quite well until I got into it and tried to bring the low voltage rail up a little bit higher because it was a little low in the first place, to get a little bit more audio power in the audio driver to the grids of the 811s, because it just could barely make 100% positive before it started. The waveform would begin to flat top because of insufficient audio. Anyway, yeah, just thinking about the old military gear and some pieces I've had for God knows how many years I'd like to find home for. I've got a few of these tank transmitters from WW2 that are FM. Can be functional on 10 meters. I got to take a look at them. Pulling out of storage, providing the mice haven't made a nest in them. I've had that issue because these things were in pristine condition when I got them, and it's just so many projects and whatnot. But they use instant heating Coleman tubes. They used 1624 is basically 5-pin face tube like an 807, but a 2.5-volt instant heated, well, as they call it, directly heated cathode. And I used a bunch of 1619. 1619 looks like a 6L6. It too is a directly heated cathode tube, something like a 6L6. I know when I say 1619, the thought is towards the 1614, which became popular in the Ranger. This modulator tube is basically a 6L6. One thing I've been thinking about in this day and age where electrical costs are going through the roof, mine sure have, is coming up with old school technology applied to modern energy usage, where you could take a transmitter like, say, we'll say for argument's sake, like an Elmac AF67, and put the 1614 in the, or the 1624 in the PA, and a pair of 1619s in the modulator. And there are other instant heating tube combinations. Hytron had a 7-pin miniature tube the size of a 68Q5, known as a 2E as in Echo 30, a 2E30. And those are instant heating as well. So I thought of various ways of combining things. Also, perhaps maybe a carcass, or shall I say a Viking 2, with, you could put a pair of, there's similar tubes to 6146s that are instant heating variety. I don't have the type number, but they have 3.2 volt filaments. But it'd be interesting to take from that technology and modify or build something that would be basically EMP proof because it's powered by a dynamotor. No real solid state stuff in it that doesn't draw any energy on standby. Because who knows where we're headed with the Chi-Coms, just the Chinese communists and rootin' tootin' Putin out of control and all these unholy alliances going on with the dark side. Something to think about. It's not a very good thought. Anyway, where's it go from here, Steve? Maybe to Glenn S1N1SNG. Is that it? Do I have it right there, Steve? It's WA1HLR, the old military radio net.
Close, Tim. You were close. Let's pick up Perry and then Glenn. And so go ahead, Perry. W3MMR, KD3HT.
KD3HT. The old military radio net. This is W3MMR. Good copies all the way around, man. Good conditions this morning. Little bit on the crunchy side, but nevertheless, man, hearing everyone. Q5 here in Pennsylvania this morning. Good to hear everyone. Just on the SDR this morning, a non-7000 DLE. And homebrew balanced down matching network, 125-foot inverted V, 600 ohm open wire fed up about 65 feet. There you go. And running about 280 watts of carrier out of the AL82 this morning. Been messing around with this new software for the SDR. So that's why I'm on this morning and recording it. So I'll put the net up on YouTube. So anybody who wants to look for it, just search the old military radio net and today's date, and it should be up there. Probably be up there, done uploading sometime late morning. But it'll definitely be up there by this evening. So good to hear everyone in here this morning. Charlie, good on the new antenna. Good to hear, man. I'll anxious to see how that works out for you. And we do have spring coming up here and warm weather, so looking forward to maybe some antenna projects this summer. And I'm kind of running out of room as far as antennas go, but hopefully we can figure something out, man. Because I would like to have something a little better for 160, but I don't have any room for that. But for now, this dipole works out, or inverted V works out pretty good on all the bands that I use it on. So we'll keep it moving there. Keep it short. Up to you, Glenn Tron. Hope all is well, Glenn, for you. Good to hear you this morning, pal. Good signal down this way, and we'll keep it moving. N1SNG in the old military radio net. This is W3MMR.
All right, W3MMR. All right, now Perry, you're the channel master here. Just a beautiful signal. That SDR is doing a really nice job. And on that inverted V, yeah. Charlie, the thing is, get that antenna up, give it your best shot, hang it, and you've seen mine. You take a left, a right, then another left. Depending on the amount of real estate you have, I know you're in confined space there, so you just get one up there, and sometimes it might be the best thing. Just let it hang there instead of fussing with a flat top and all that if you don't have the property. So it's big ball of wire here, so it seems to work out pretty good. The 75 meters seems to work quite well in that that faces kind of a northwest, southeast, and that's been working pretty good on 40, 75. Good deal on that. your reports coming in on the antenna project. And Bill, on the WA4DDH on the 32V3, I believe you have.
That sounded great here. Nice signal. You're about an S9 versus the previous transmitter there. You've done a good job with making those improvements. That's for sure. 7-3 to Kevin, if you're still living there, still listening, WATMX. And yeah, ART-13 here. It's been in service for quite some time. No major events taking place, with performance, just the usual maintenance, and hopefully it can continue to do so. Just running dynamotor power, which is on the other side of the wall here. It's nice and quiet, and I've got to actually, it's on a steel shelf, and I have some soundproofing there. But I don't. It doesn't whine at all. It just sounds like I don't know, maybe like a small vacuum cleaner or something. Who knows? It makes it interesting. That's for sure. And Perry, yep, the amplifier arrangement there, the Viking 2. I know you don't have too much time to say, but you managed to get things rolling along there, and you always have a very, very nice signal, and all the way around. And Steve, you're sounding good here this morning, and thanks for the Brown reports. I thought he would be in a authentic military enclosure or piece of real estate, and transmitting on a authentic military transmitter, but he must be on the road in search again. That should be like a video, when he goes to these places, and just come up with some sort of a PBS special. But anyway, hopefully he drags back some unobtainables and other sorts of military radios there. Let me see. I had Tom W2ILA came over the other day. He had some parts off one of his Jeep there, and he needed some a brazing rod and some flux and all that. And I had a bunch that was given to me years ago. My uncle gave to me, so he was able to use that to do his repairs. And as temperatures warm up here and the snow disappears, everybody starts coming out of the woodwork, firing up projects and so on. And I'd registered spring here. Frogs are starting to chirp during the day when the sun's out in the back catch basin. Did all the yard work. That's all done. Put down some mulch. So that's all done. And maybe we'll look at other antenna options here. So with that, we'll get it right over to you, Steve. And thanks for running the net this morning. 83HT and the old military radio net from N1SNG. Over.
Yeah, very good, Glenn. Let's see you. Pick up Kevin. I heard you in there. WB0JZG if you copy me. Go ahead, this is KD3HT. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Over.
I don't know, maybe he had a crap out, so let's see why he gets that resolved. If there's anyone else in the wings waiting to join the old military radio net, please call now. Whiskey 1, Zulu Foxtrot Baker. Okay, got you, Mike. It might have been Kevin again. 1 Zulu Foxtrot Baker. And Anyone else? This is KD382.
W2 SDR.
Did anybody pick up the station ending in X-ray? Station ending in X-ray. Go again. Okay, we'll pick you up. I got the WB3 ending in X-ray. So remember, that's you. So we'll pick you up in a second. And just give one more call. Anyone else? 3382.
Did you get me, Steve?
Wow, how did I miss you, Frank? We must have doubled.
Okay, good morning. W2 SDR.
Okay, we'll have you guys to the end here. So we'll try Kevin, WB0JZG again. And then W1ZFB, WB3 something X-ray, W2 SDR, and then we'll go up to N1XCW. I don't think Kevin signed out. Or yeah, I did. WA4DDH, Timmy, WA1HLR, Perry, N1S, W3MMR, Glenn, M1SNG. I'll repeat that in a second. Tim, those tank transmitters, and I always forget, like 603 or something, CRBC, but there's 3 different frequency ranges, one lower than 10 meters, and 26 to 27. Then the next one covers 10 meters, and then there's one up a little bit higher than 10. And I guess the ranges coincided with like the type of artillery or the levels of rank. But yeah, they're interesting, and I've only seen one operational in person. Pete, WB2JWU, had restored a set. They were communicating back and forth between that and, I'm trying to remember, Al. M3FR2 had another set he was using. I don't remember which one it was, at one of the Gilbert old military radio meets. So that's the only time I've seen one operational. But yeah, it's kind of tough being that it's that wideband FM. So okay, well, we'll get it up over to you again, Kevin. Hopefully things got straightened out there. WB0JZG, the mic W1ZFB to WB3 X-ray, W2 SDR. And back up to Charlie, N1XZW, WA4DDH Bill, WA1HLR Tim, W3MMR Perry, N1SNG Glenn, and we'll hope that the squirrels stay away from everybody's antenna support lines. So Kevin, WB0JZG, if you copy, please go ahead. The old military radio net, KD3HT. Must have had a crap out. Go ahead, Mike, W1ZFB, KD3HT.
Good morning, Steve, in the old military radio net. I'm hearing signals pretty good. Got some crunchies in there, so I didn't know who I have to pass it to, but good morning to everybody. And I guess that's just the way it is here in the start of spring and the spring forward time change. So, but nevertheless, I'm hearing signals pretty well down here, and weather's starting to get a little bit better. I think we're going to take a nosedive tomorrow. It's supposed to go down in the wind chill factor's around 20 or something, so that's I guess Old Mother Nature wants to do its thing one more time. I think there was somebody on last week that wanted to know about the Cherry Blossom Festival, and that's supposed to be really good next weekend. So anybody wants to come down and enjoy that, you may not want the crowd, but that's when they're going to be the best, I guess. So other than that, I'm going to stick around for another one. Hopefully the band will change a little bit, and we'll get some more people from down beyond me. So I missed who was supposed to pick it up. I think it was a WD3, but I didn't catch the rest of it. So W1ZFB.
Okay, and the name will come to me in a minute, so sorry. Victor Echo 3, Lima Yankee X-Ray, and the audio is just about non-existent. There is a decent carrier, so I'm wondering it might be wireless set 19. So we'll have to come back around and pick you up again. So hopefully conditions will be a little bit better that time. At that time, go ahead, Frank. KD3HT.
Yeah, okay, fine, Steve. Good morning, KD3HT and the old military radio net, W2SDR. And boy, overslept a little bit this morning, but good morning to everybody. And I haven't heard hardly anybody yet because I just fired things up here, so I'll enjoy listening while I'm waking up with my coffee here. So good morning to everyone. Everybody have a fantastic weekend, and we'll sit back and listen. So over to you, Charlie. I guess I was at the end of the list here. N1XZW in the old military radio net, W2SDR. Go ahead, Charlie.
W2SDR, N1XZW in the old military radio net. Yeah, yesterday I went out and spent about an hour pulling leaves up out of my fish pond. I take it in little bites, because once you start, you can't see anything in the water anymore because it just turns to muck from all the rotting leaves that are in there. And we'll give it another go the next time we have a nice day that I feel ambitious. But the antenna project is in the works. I've been lining things off. I have an air can that I can use to launch something up over the tree. I just have to take the pipe that's on it now off and put a pipe on it more suitable for firing a pig, Anyway, that's it for me for this morning. I'm going to sign, and everybody have a wonderful weekend. I don't think I can think of anything else at the moment. So I'm going to pass it down to you. And Bill, that last transmission, you started off way off in the woods, and at the end of the transmission, you probably could have scrapped Timmy. So that goes to show the band can definitely change from minute to minute. WA4DDH to take it. N1XZW.
Don't forget about Charlie.
You okay? Go ahead there, Charlie. Then to little old me.
Charlie already had it. He just had it a couple of minutes ago.
Okay, I'm getting confused. I'm starting to fall asleep, so I'm gonna bail on go to bed and hope I can recoup my lost sleep. All right, I can just about hear Bill DDH in there, about 50%. It seems like closer in signals are doing very well. Steve HT, I can hear the channel master, Ewan Perrier, and Frank are channel masters in here this morning. And very interesting on the tank transmitters. I should make a concerted effort to at least get one of them out there complete with the Cropstal boxes, you know, they have all the low frequency Cropstals. I remember looking them over years and years ago, and I think there might be a Cropstal in each one that'll put them on 29.6. So one of them, say, is set down up that with the receiver on 29.6 and make an interesting military FM radio. Because with 10 meters happening, they become quite usable. Might be something to play around with. That's for sure. Yeah, time to head back to bed. For today is today. It's not another day, it's today. So good morning all the way around here, and I'll catch us all later. I'm just gonna listen out. W3MMR and the old military radio net from WA1H
WA1HLR on the old Milrad net, W3MMR. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't hear Charlie. I got confused, which is nothing new. Anyway, good morning, Pop. Good to hear you. Good signal across the bridge here this morning. Good to hear you, man. And good morning to you. And Steve, good job running the net as always. Bill, decent signal up here. A little weaker that last transmission, Bill, but the Collins is still doing a decent job up here this morning. 7-3 to Kevin, DMX. Good morning to the braking stations that just broke in there as well. And we'll keep it moving here. Not too much is transmission. And we'll keep it moving and sticking here probably for one more. So up to you, Glenn. And Glenn, you have a really great signal up here this morning. You and Timmy and my father are the channel masters here at the QTH this morning. M1SNG in the old military radio net. This is W3MMR.
Yeah, W3MMR, the old military radio net, N1SNG. Well, thanks for the reports, Perry. And likewise, you're sounding great here also, Frank. You guys are just near room quieting. Very, very pleasing to the ears. And, yeah, a little bit of static out there, I guess, being generated from maybe the weather or just some sort of atmospheric phenomenon there. But, yeah, in any case, good on the tank radio. Geez, once you bring up the subject there, it seems like a lot of them are still around. People have either have one or have had one over the years. I know Timmy has a few in his inventory there, so I think he's offering those up for sale maybe. But
in any case, yeah, we pretty much have a full house here as far as radio equipment. Not too much more room for any additions, but you know, the old but, you never know, and hey, we'll see. Can always move one in and then maybe move one out, whatever it takes. Haven't been doing too much work on the radios here, just more or less cleaning up, going through tube inventories and you know, seeing what's what. Do I have enough tubes to support each individual piece of equipment? And I'm about 99% with that. It's just a couple of small 9-pins, and I can pick those up sooner or later. No immediate need for them, but in any case, I think Timmy's signed. I don't know if you're signing now, Tim, but if you are, we'll catch up with you later. 7-3s for now. And Charlie with the fish pond and other pieces of exercise equipment that you have in the yard there. Sounds like you're doing pretty good, and be interesting to hear some reports on that antenna once things start going there. And as far as the wildlife goes and affecting antenna components, chewing through lines, I've never really had any situations. I think Morby birds, you know, there's some of the smaller birds just getting on the lines and you know, sharpening their tools, I guess, but no failures at that. But I found that the black Dacron, I think these are 3/16ths here. That black Dacron rope is a pretty good choice for me. There are several different versions of that. I think my last roll I bought, maybe 12 years ago, 15 years ago up at Nearfest, and I found that HRO carries that same black Dacron. It's got a nice weave to it, and it's got the center core. It's like a white fiber, and I've had that particular line up there for many years now, and I was going to start replacing the lines, but they're still in great shape, so why waste the lines here? But in any case, just another adventure in amateur radio antenna hardware. So with that, I think it's going to go over to let me see, WB0ZG. I think he's having issues there. Steve, I'm going to send it back to you, and you can figure out what's going on, who I should hand it over to, or are you going to do another call-up? I think it's to go to W1ZFB, but I'll pass it back to you, Steve. KD3HD and the old military radio net, N1SNG.
Thanks, Glenn. Yeah, see, Kevin, we missed Kevin there, except for that short blip. Let me see. WB0JZG, are you back online? This is KD3HD. Well, I hope it's nothing serious. And the lightning static seems to be emanating from a storm down in the Gulf. That's pretty far south in the Gulf, kind of on the same line as Miami. And Will sent me a video of how often the lightning is being detected down there, and it's like, you can't count that fast. So it's really hammering something down there. So that's where the noise is coming from, it seems. And 73, Charlie, Bill, Kevin already had signed, and Timmy, he's back to bed, and enjoyed your company here this morning. You guys get back and do what you gotta do. And good morning to you again, Mike, and Frank, and Don. Don, DE3LYX up in Canada. Sorry, I got a WB instead of a VE. but they do sound sort of similar sometimes. And we'll try to get you again, Don. But the carrier was there, but the audio wasn't. So if it's a carbonium microphonium, they have to mechanically tune it to get it to function right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if there's anyone else wishing to join us at this point. Please call now. This is KD3H.
This is WA2, good morning, Steve.
And K3HVG with y'all.
Good morning, guys. WA2EJT and W3K3HVG. Morning, Joe and Jeep. Anyone else? It's KD3HD. Nope. We'll start with you guys. WA2EJT. Good morning, Joe. Send it to K3HVG. And we'll try Kevin again, WB0JZG, but if Kevin doesn't pick it up, Mike, it will go to you, W1ZFB. Over to Don, DE3LYX. To Frank, W2SDR. And then we go back up to Perry, W3MMR, Glenn, N1SNG, and then back to Net. A short round, so to speak. So go ahead, Joe. Good day to you, sir. KD3HD.
Okay, Steve, this is WA2EJT. This loud signal from you, Steve. I've been listening here since 5 a.m. or before, but I've had a horrendous noise that suddenly disappeared. Well, maybe it won't come back and I won't have to troubleshoot it. Running the usual here, the ART-13, DC-328 with the BC-946 and, well, I haven't been able to hear anyone else since I did hear Glenn, and that noise has gone away. So let me just, continuing with my usual radio project here, I'll leave it at that at this point. And good morning to you, Jeep. Very nice to hear you. And good path between us as well as, everyone else that I've been able to hear in the last 5 minutes. K3HVG in the old military note. WA2EJT, over.
Okay, Joe, very good. WA2EJT in the old military radio net. K3HVG. Not a whole lot of power today. Let's see. Oh, I see what I do. I've got the ART-13 set. Let's go to 400 volts and set the thing. Okay, 130 watts. Coming out of the ARC-8. I'm copying everyone very nicely. Some a little bit better than others, but Joe, you're remarkably good copy this morning. Steve is up to his normal. And Tim Tron was a good copy here too. Just a quick comment there on the static. Yeah, when I was down in Honduras on the island, Swan Island, for a couple of years there with the Weather Service, we had a group come down from, I'm trying to think of the name of the Air Force Laboratory. It was at Hanscom Air Force Base, I believe is where their labs are, but they came down and they were doing a transequatorial propagation study, and they were modeling the QRN coming out of the Brazilian rainforest area, which has, I guess, from Lake Maracaibo up north all the way down. They have some world-class lighting. I think the The worst place is Bangladesh. But anyway, they put a little piggyback receiver on our radio sons, and in the morning and in the evening they would listen to all the spherics and whatnot from the storms. And I tell you what, you can hear lightning a long, long, long way off. If anybody's ever worked with the old Loran systems, you know what QRN can do. But anyway, on with the net. Again, copying everybody pretty nice. Temperature here is, it says 37 degrees with rain, but I think the rain stopped a while ago. So the indicator is a little bit behind the times. Let's see, I'll try a WB0 JZG, WB0 JZG, and the old military radio net, K3HVG, over.
Alrighty, well, good morning to everyone. I'm sorry I missed my company the last time. I couldn't tell, but it didn't decide to turn today. It's not very good today, as it has been before. Before that, definitely had a lot more static. I'm new to Florida this time of year. You know, I just moved down here last fall. We didn't really get any radio stuff for a while. Getting antenna up and get some kind of a box to get rid of the buzz noise, which is really, really strong. And so I'm thinking that lightning static may be more prevalent down here. I'm noticing a lot of storms down in the tropics that have crash lightning, and I live here, and other people may not hear it as much. So under the super seniors, I have been with the home-built solid-state receiver on the inverted antenna. And probably antennas a little bit, but boy, it's risky. I mean, this thing works. If I take it down and something else that I put up doesn't work, then I got to fiddle around and try to get it backed up. But it does work. The problem I have is that good north-south radiation pattern instead of east-west, which means I need the antenna to an east-west. I have no way to do that. So I'm kind of stuck with trying to fiddle around with something with the end fire, and I've played around modeling delta loops and whatnot, and found that if I tune it, resonate it high right above the band, and then tune it with my tunerage according to EZNet, it should have a much, much stronger radiation pattern to the north than it would if I'm right on frequency, which is kind of odd. Don't know why it works, but that's just the way it works. And I don't know if we can argue with EZNet or not. It's been real good about telling the truth. And I think you give it a better signal to the north, you know, 250 degrees could work. But then again, it might not work. It might make things worse. Who knows? We're an outlet, but should be figured out a way to get it way higher in the air. Maybe if I could get one leg higher in the air, it might help. The current node's in the middle of that. Neighbors behind me got some really tall oak trees that if I came out one day I could answer them. It was rather fun. Antenna. Some people don't hear, some people do. Then they actually get it up another 30 feet or 25 feet. Anything that helps above 50 feet better than 35. So anyway, that's my sticking to it. I use it to turn it to me. I don't know whether I didn't register who to turn it to. Didn't pay attention or wrote it forgot. Anyway, that's what I said to you. You're not very chunky today. You usually are a whole lot chunky. So I'm going to let you do the honors of proper dress. I'll see the next couple of days and if I do. So I guess that's W0J7 in Florida.
Yep,
Very good, Kevin. Go ahead, Mike. W1ZFB. Go ahead, KD3H2.
Okay, good morning again. And I was hearing Kevin quite well. We're working on the ART-13 with the BC-348 receive, so signals seem to be coming in pretty well, along with the static. I was interested in hearing about the static information, but that's pretty cool. Other than that, let's see, I'm going to try to run up to the Vienna Hamfest tomorrow in Vienna, Virginia, so we'll see who's there. I know it's going to be quite chilly tomorrow, but we'll see who's outside and maybe wander inside for a little bit. But, I think I got my antenna work done. I've got to do some grounding yet around here, but I'll finish that up too. So, with that, I'm going to make this my last one, and we'll see everybody maybe later on today or the next MMR. So, W1ZFB, let's see, I think it's Don, VE3LYX, I hope I got that right, W1ZFB and the old military radio net. Yeah, W1ZFB and the old military radio net, Victor Echo 3, Lima, Yankee Echo. I switched to my dollar CPS station.
Frank, if you're still there, W2SDR, KD3HT.
Yeah, I was having trouble copying that fellow there. Unfortunately, this morning, W2SDR here, but everyone else was pretty much was coming in pretty well. Not too much going on here today. Just going to kick back and relax a little bit. Still finishing up my coffee. Hope everyone has a great weekend. And we'll look for everybody real soon. I've been on my FT 101E this morning and enjoyed sitting back and waking up. Still getting used to the time change, I guess, and drinking coffee and listening to the net. Doing a great job again, Steve. Let's see if Charlie's still in there, and we'll sit back and continue to listen, but I'm going to, this will be my last transmission. N1XZW in the old military radio net, W2SDR.
You're all fighting with the squirrels already. Go ahead, Barry. Barry not out. W3MMR, KD3H2.
Sorry, that's what I get for not paying attention. I was looking at the list and I didn't cross anybody off, so I got confused. Sorry, Steve. KD3HT and the old military radio net, W3MMR. Well, good morning to all the new stations here. Little light copy on some guys, but I was able to pretty much copy everyone there. I'm still trying to wake up here. My eyelids are getting heavy. I went to bed at a decent time last night too. I'm just a little groggy this morning. Busy week at work, so. But luckily we do have off today, and I do have a breakfast, local radio breakfast here with some local CB guys. We have a really good group of locals here. No, not much riff-raff like when you think about CB or 11 meters. It's not, it's just like, us here. It's a really good group of guys that gets together third Saturday of every month. One of the local diners right down the road from me here. And meet there at 7 o'clock this morning. So probably head over there this morning and then see how I feel after that. Maybe go over and visit my dad today. If not today, we'll be going over there tomorrow. Check out this new baseball documentary about Nolan Ryan. So if any of you guys know me and my father, we're really, really big baseball fans. So go over there at some point this weekend and go watch that with him. And should be a good time. But I'm going to say 7-3, guys. I'm going to let this recording roll on for the rest of the net. Again, if anybody would like to catch the net or last week's net, I think it may be the week before as well. Maybe not last week, but the week before that. I did record the net here and put it on my YouTube channel. So just go ahead and search the Old Military Radio Net, and you should find the net's posted up there. And today's net will be posted up probably by late morning, early afternoon. It should be done uploading, because 4K videos take a while to get to upload for sure. So thanks, Steve, for running the net. Fantastic job as always. We'll say 7-3, guys. Catch you later. I'll send it up to you, Glenn. Glenn, always a pleasure to hear you. Really a pleasure to hear everyone this morning. Great conditions on the net here. Sorry, my all-star note's talking to me. 7-3, guys. M1SNG in the Old Military Radio Net. This is W3MMR standing by.
W3MMR, the Old Military Radio Net, N1SNG. Okay, very, very nice signal here this morning. Just full quieting. And thanks for providing some listening entertainment there with another episode of the Old Military Radio Net. So do appreciate that. And 7-3 to Frank also on the 101E. I thought he was on the Anand. Just that 101E is just fabulous. Sounding great. Nice signals all the way around also. And I want to thank Will for providing the global atmospheric reports there. Very interesting. And hope everything's well at Mission Control there. So, again, very good morning to you, Will. And I heard Mike in there, W1ZFB. Good morning, Mike. And Don, VE3LYX. I believe that's the call. And Joe, WA2EJT, is coming in fine. K3HVG. Very nice signal onto Rhode Island this morning, Jeep. Where things are starting to dry out a little bit, and temperatures seem to be, just kind of seasonal here. No major threats yet, but to the north of us, there's still a lot of remnants of winter. Will be for a while also. And let me see, that about wraps it up here for this round. And we'll get it right over to heck's it gonna go now? I think WB0JZG, I think it's going over to Kevin. If not, Steve, intervene there. WB0JZG, N1SNG, over.
Alrighty, well, and now, some of the signals are real strong. N1SNG just had a weekend here with all the lightning static. I didn't look at the lightning map yet. I need to give me an idea where this is coming from. It's 66 degrees this morning. It's going to be a high 80 here today, but it's cooling off. We've got a 60-mile bike ride in Cape City on Sunday, and it's going to be 50 degrees in the morning with a high of 61. Maybe no rain. It looks like the rain. It was forecast to rain all day, but now that's been moved till today, which is Saturday. Clock alarm. I might just shut that off. Let's go back to current location. It's going to be a high of 83 today. So it's going to be a nice day here. Maybe I can get out and piddle some antenna stuff. I really need to work on this antenna. I've got new antenna wire. I need to go ahead and replace it and get it resonated. Not resonate very well of the band, and I need to probably fix the point of resonance of it and make it a little easier to load it up into the band. So
so I can get down around 3,700 on AM. I know it's at 37 over. Different times of the day. So I don't know, maybe it'll be a little kind of rock around out there. I haven't getting close to getting the old 42 transmitter from Point of View Belt, but I'm going to get the 48 250 transmitter running, which is old military radio parts, but it isn't even old military radio. Yeah, it looks old military, I'll tell you that. It's by design. I wanted to work that way. But it's got parts out of the T-195 and the leader root drive off the T-368, 4J250, combination some of the less great stuff, and of course on the old ERT-13 radio that used the same mod transformer. It wasn't an ART-13, that's where this one may have come from. So I'll get that on there. That's 250 watts. That ought to be here for all the things. I'll run something that's come down here with a substandard antenna. I need power to get out and be heard and make it so that people don't have to strain their ears to hear me. That's my objective. To be on people's ears as they can. And when I said G, military radio, that's WD0 station.
Yeah, I'll get it, Glenn. Okay, very good. And 73 Mike and Don and Frank all sounding great here today. Don, that TCS station really sounded good. Well modulated, and I copied you just fine. So that was great. Don is on, if I recall correctly, on the northeastern end of Lake Ontario, and I used to know the name of the island, but it's not coming to me now. But very, very good signal here, Don. So I remember you running the wireless Set 19, and that's what just came to mind when I heard the call. So very good, and be looking forward to hearing the ARC 5 station. And Joe and Jeep, you guys are both real nice and strong in here with the ART-13s. And glad that you're hearing me fine down there, Jeep, and you too, Joe. Yeah, this week we were forecasted to have this huge snowfall in the beginning of the week, which ended up being about 2 or 3 inches, if that much. And throughout the week, that's gone away. So I think we're almost snow-free out there. And temperature was up near 60 yesterday, I think, but today it's only supposed to get near 40. Definitely a big yo-yo temperature-wise, but we'll see. It was quite windy the last couple days, and I think it's supposed to still be windy today, but we'll see what we get up. And okay on everyone doing the antenna work. My son started climbing trees, so I'm going to get him to slip some antenna hooks into some taller pine trees here, and hopefully have those for sky hooks, which will be up probably between 90 and 100 feet, which would be great. So as long as the wires can clear, the branches and be able to pull through, should be able to get something up pretty high. I'll have to reconstruct another delta loop and pull it up way up into the tree and see how that works. See if I can get out and maybe make a flat top. If not, we'll stick with the loops. They always work good. Let's see. That's about all the comments I had this round. So let's see if there's anyone else wishing to join the old military radio net. This is KD3HD. No, we're still quiet. Kevin, one thing I wanted to mention is I would suspect that bamboo grows pretty good down in Florida. And we were having a discussion last night on 3705 that down in southern PA, kind of between Lancaster and Philly, one of the guys, Dave, has been trying to eradicate bamboo. And he knows that he's got a couple pieces that are like 50 foot tall. So he says there's a chemical that you drop the bamboo in, and it sucks it throughout the stalk of the bamboo, and I guess makes it more had low resolve against any rot or anything. Now, I don't know how thin it gets up at the top, but those things are one long rod that maybe with a decent support at the bottom, maybe guys aren't even needed. I don't know how much it would swing around. But 50 feet's not a bad height if you can't get into your neighbor's oak tree. But it all depends on what you can find locally. But I would say it's a good chance to be able to find some bamboo around. So, all right, we'll go back around here. Short list here: WA2EJT to K3HVG to N1SNG. That's right, and WB0JZG. Only 5 of us left here. So go ahead, Joe. WA2EJT KD3HD.
Okay, Joe, very good, and good morning to you. WA2EJT and the old military radio net. K3HVG, Monrovia/Frederick, Maryland. Okay. I'm still on the ARC-8, thankfully. It's good to be back on military gear. I was using the commercial stuff for a number of months. I guess I kind of missed the ARC-25 setup, but you know, as time marches on, we need to shift curators, so I'm sure that Brown will have it back on the air shortly for a while. Let's see the other comment. Oh yeah, tomorrow is the Vienna Ham Fest. They used to call it Frost Fest when it was actually in the town of Vienna. Now it's was at a college, and now it's moved to a local high school. This will be the first year for it. So somebody on that earlier mentioned that they were going to come up to it. So a couple of us are going down to it and see what it's all about. It'll be my first fest of the season, and we're always looking for that, what was it in that song? Looking for my lost something or other. Anyway, maybe we'll find that super treasure. And Joe mentioned the article there, I guess, in Electric Radio when I was down in Honduras. Yeah, that was a life experience, I do have to admit. Other than that, all's well. Stations were down a bit this time. Steve, you're still up there. Glenn is way up. But I guess the gray line will be moving through shortly. N1SNG and the old military radio, that K3HVG. Go ahead, Glenn.
K3HVG and the old military radio, N1SNG. Okay, very good, Jeep. Yeah, we're running the ART-13 here this morning. We're at full dynamo to power, listening on the SP600JX17. And coming quite well. Of course, we're picking up the atmospherics and all. But all in all, a good signal this morning, Jeep. And good luck with the Ham Fest. Yeah, nothing like a good therapy fest. Get out there and get the exercise, and just go on the hunt and see what's out there. It's always exciting to see what people have collected and are offering up. As time marches on, and I always make a list of mostly individual items that I'm looking for and so on. But it's just great to get out there and do the walkabout, and the fellowship and the camaraderie and all that. That's what it's all about. But we're probably going to be putting a lid on a lot of the equipment here as far as adding anything. I think we've got enough here to sustain the fulfillment and the enjoyment of military radio and some of the civilian gear, as they call it, and making sure it gets some use too. So always looking for opportunities to get on the air. Busy time of year here. But not too many ham fests up this way. I mean, there's Near Fest, which is a big one, and there's probably a few others that I probably don't even pay attention to. That's probably why I don't hear them. But in any case, enjoy that. Enjoy the moment there for sure. Let's see what else. Yeah, speaking of Jeeps, I got one in the garage. I've got to get working on that, and a lot of projects with the retirement now. It's you got to really look around and pick and choose, set the priorities, and also a certain amount of time to each project, and orders of the day to say, But in any case, using a D104 here, and this has been attached to the ART-13 for many years, but seems to do the trick. Just about putting out maybe 85, 90 watts here. That's about all she gives up. So that's good enough for me. So with that, Steve, I'm going to get it back to you. And I got the coffee here, so sorry about that. KD3HT and the old military radio net, N1SNG.
Let's see if Kevin hears me this time. WB0JZG. Go ahead, Kevin. And back to me, KD3HT.
All right. KD3HT, WB0JZG. some nice conditions for a little while. Not many people left in the group, but we're starting to get into summer. I've been sitting here reading stuff on the net while listening to everybody. People sound good. I wish I didn't have the static here. It would be nicer. That was coming into the NA mic PC real well, so I just cheat listen there a bit because of the here. Hey, there's nothing to do about static. That's just part of life. Part of the way congregation works. You know, unless I had lots of acres to do some extremely directed arrays to point my signal up north and know everything to the south, and then I could have much better signal to the north and feel that it's going to happen. I don't see that happening at all. That's not influence waters before that kind of property around here. But I do enjoy this somewhat subtropical weather we get. And that's one word that I'm an athlete. I've been place to train and keep myself in shape and race and enjoy the better parts of life other than the action and the radio. And I do like filming equipment, so that's what my time is. So if I see you coming, I'll make this, I don't know if I can make my life for that. We've got handles now.
Yeah, very good, Kevin. Good to keep active, and I wish I'm not extremely active after the day of sitting here at my desk, staring into the laptop abyss. I find it difficult to get up and get moving. So, what are you going to do? Very good, Joe, 73, and we had a good signal down here. And okay, on the TBX, and the wobbler, to wobble the signal around. That would work good on a receiver for a sideband eliminator rig. That looks like that's what that's for. And Glenn, okay, on the D104. Don't touch it. It's been working good. So we've been having good function with that ART-13 for quite some time. And Jeep, your set there, ART-13 is percolating just fine. No sign of any deterioration or anything. It's working great. I'm wondering, Jeep, on this version of the ARC-8, whether you were able to find the mechanical mounting assembly like you had on the ARC-8 that Brown picked up. And he's got that all set up. I got the picture of it. Now, I don't know if he has to apply power to it, but it's all there. It's all set up, I believe, the way you had it. So it's probably ready to go. It's just maybe configure an antenna to it or something like that. I haven't seen it in person yet, so I kind of got an idea how he has stuff assembled in different areas of the garage there, but not for sure how he's got the coax run. I know he does have a run going upstairs where that ARC-8 is, because that's where he has the T195, I believe, and the other ART-13 he was running earlier. So he's got something up there. But he's got to spend some time at home, I guess, to make that happen, in his other travels. And okay, on the Hamfest, I looked at the map about where that is, and it looks like it's it's a lot easier to get to. I thought Frostfest was further south, but maybe I'm confusing things. I thought it was right off of 17 on the other side of 95 or something, or it used to be. But I could have that mixed up with something else. But very good. Yeah, Mike was saying, Mike W1ZFB is going to take a journey down there. So you guys are pretty close. Maybe if you go down there, you'll be following the same path, G. All right, at this time, let's see if there's any other stations wishing to join the old military radio net. Please call now. This is KD3HT.
November 8, Bravo, Norway, Echo.
Right, November 8, Bravo, Norway, Echo. Anyone else? This is KD3HT.
WA7 DIA.
Okay, WA7DIA. Anyone else? Okay, a couple at a time. Okay, N8BNE and WA7DIA, welcome. Please take it. So N8BNE to WA7DIA, over to K3HVG, then up to N1SNG, and WB0JZG, and then back to next. N8BNE, please go ahead. This is KD3HT here in Northeast PA. Over.
KD3HT. This is N8BNE, Larry in Hudson Lake, Michigan, about 90 miles west of Detroit. And morning, I'm on a LMAC AS68, listening on a Drake R4B. I have a question. A friend of mine picked up a piece of military equipment, and we're trying to find a schematic for it. It's for an RT-18 ARC-1. RT-18 ARC-1. And I was wondering if you have any idea where we might be able to find such a schematic for it.
There's a bunch of resources out on the web, of course. I'm thinking of, the site's not coming to me, maybe Jeep can add something here. But I would suspect that the ARC-1 set is available in PDF form for download. You may also find a schematic and maybe a brief description in books called, there were a set of 3 books that were produced by, I think, CQ Magazine, that are kind of compendiums of military equipment that amateurs modified in the past. And maybe one of the other guys will remember the name, or when it comes back around, I'll remember what it is, Larry. Jack may know as well, so let's turn it to Jack and see what maybe Jack's got something. WA7DIA, group WA7DIA, go ahead, Jack, KD3HT.
Go ahead, Jack. No joy, Steve.
Yeah, I may got called away. Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, K3HT, K3HVG, and the old military radio net. Yeah, to WB0, N8BNE, Larry. I sold my ARC-1, but I still have some ARC-1 resources. The surplus conversion manuals had a schematic. Also, there was another called Surplus Conversion Handbook. The aforementioned were small format. The Surplus Conversion handbook is a regular, 8.5 by 11 book. Yeah, I tell you what, look me up on QRZ. You can send me an email, and I'll give you the email. It's Juliet Echo Echo Papa Papa GEEPP @Comcast.net, and so I can get your email, and I'm sure I can get some information to you. The schematic is pretty involved. Stuffing it on an 8.5 by 11 is rough. When I had mine and working on it, I took it to a commercial reprographics place, and they blew it up to a D-size schematic, and that helped a lot. As I'm sure Steve and others will agree, it's a pretty involved schematic. Just for the number of items in it, it takes up a lot of space. That's all. So that's the deal on that. Steve, I got a message from Mike. He's apparently moving back into the rebuilt house. I sent him photos of his equipment that's on the air here. And he hopes everybody remembers him. I told him that everybody did. He was always the cleanup man in the call-up. And yeah, the fest used to be off of Little River Turnpike at the Northern Virginia College, and now it's moved up. It's off Route 66 out, 6 or 8 miles, and there's a fairly new high school, and it looks like they've got the cafeteria and a couple of parking lots. So not the old days of the recreation center in downtown Vienna, but them's the breaks. So anyway, that's the deal on the Arc 1 Larry. N1SNG, K3HVG, and Glenn, you might drag your feet, I guess, for Jack maybe. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, WA7DIA, Jack, you still with us? Nothing. Missing in action for now. But anyway, hopefully it's nothing too serious. And, yeah, again, very good morning to the new entries here into the Global Military Radio Net. And I don't know if Fair Radio still has their library of manuals. I think back in the day they sold manuals for the military radios. So I haven't really been to their site. I used to get their little leaflets in the mail. Those were fun, but they stopped coming a while back. But I've been up there twice, and it's a pretty amazing place. And usually, when you go back, you see the same stuff or other pieces in the showroom. New arrivals, as they say. And I think that's where I got my LS3 speaker. Yep, I went into the back warehouse, and there was a whole pallet of them. Unfortunately, there was a leak in the ceiling, and I was somewhat of an oasis of LS3 speakers. So I did find one that was in pretty good shape. No water damage to say. New in the box. But that's what I'm using right now with the ART-13, and it does work quite well. But in any case, yes, the research into the older military gear and getting the schematics, that can be a lot of fun. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to acquire information. Here's the Milrad Net's a good place always to start or add to. People looking for other items. But in any case, we'll keep it short. I'll get it over to Kevin, and
hopefully Kevin's copying me okay, and I don't know if Jack is still standing by there, but he had a pretty good signal up here when he first came in. WB0JZG, over to you, Kevin, and 1SNG.
All right. Well, I'm going to probably go ahead and sign out. The band is definitely noisy and it's not getting much better. It's always a pleasure to get in here on Saturday morning and say hello to everyone. Too bad the old military equipment isn't generally a lot higher power. Although the F-13s aren't bad. You know, you could get 125 to 30 watts out of those. Although completely stock, I'm not sure. Most of the ones I've been around didn't have AC power. You know, AC main power supply out of the time motors, but they're definitely a little stronger than some of the military gear. A lot of that stuff is pretty low power. So, don't leave everyone. And next weekend, I'm not sure what's going on Saturday. Maybe I'll actually be able to get in here again. Every week's different. Sometimes I race on Saturday, sometimes I race on Sunday, sometimes I got something on both days. Kind of hard to say. And I'm getting up there in age, but I'm still extremely athletic, and I can stay that way. It makes me feel good, and it makes my life better. And never say never. As you know, we're learning a lot about aging because we have a pretty good aging population. And the key is to keep your fitness up and don't have to recover and get back, because it'll take a while to get back as we get older. And that's just something we accept and move on. Anyway, now I've got the net director's net negotiation call. Back to you, Tom. Good morning, all 7 weeks. Maybe one weekend soon I'll have something vintage old on the air, even though it's home built, not commercial, but it will be old. 730 Kevin in Lakeland, Florida.
Yeah, it sounds like it will have many remnants of other military equipment, so it's still purposeful. 73, Kevin, good to have you this morning. Larry, I found, doing a quick search, a site, NavyRadio.com, and on that site, /manuals /94200 /94200 .1A _ 9-5 .pdf. I'm assuming that's the full manual for the ARC-1. But you can go to NavyRadio.com and do a search on that. And that's, and Jeep, thank you, Jeep. For some reason, the surplus conversion manual, and there are 3 editions, I believe, 3 volumes. It's probably in the first one, but I'm not sure. And then, as Jeep mentioned, there's another surplus conversion book that's in a smaller format, probably in there too. So very good. Larry, did you copy that N8BNE KD3HD?
This is N8BNE. I think you said manualradio.com.
Navy, November Alpha Victor Yankee, Navy-radio.com. QSL?
Navy-radio.com. Affirmative.
Yeah, that gentleman, Nick, has a great collection of manuals and stuff available. So, or Jeep mentioned to, you probably copied his email and send him an email, and he'll provide you some places to look as well. So let's see, Jack, are you able to get back with us? WA7DIA, if we're making it through your noise there, KD3HT.
AJ1G's in there, Steve.
Oh, okay, he must be mobile, because I saw a carrier. I thought it might have been Jack, but I guess it was Chris. All right, well, let's add Chris in here. AJ1G, go ahead, and then send it to, we'll send it to Larry, N8BNE. We'll try Jack again, WA7DIA, up to Jeep, K3HVG, over to Glenn, N1SNG, and back to me. So go ahead, Chris, AJ1G, KD3HT.
Steve?
Yeah, I'm not copying them here at all. I see a carrier, but not detecting any audio. So go ahead, Larry, N8BNE, KD3HT.
KD3HT, this is N8BNE. Returning. I want to thank everybody out there for all the great information there. We will check out all those sites, and we appreciate the help here. So anyways, we'll turn it. I'll be listening in here for a little while before I got to get around and get ready to head out. WA7DIA. This is NABNE. Go ahead, Jack.
You must be still having problems there. Go ahead, Chief.
Okay. KD3HT, K3HVG, and the old military radio net. Well, it was good to hear from Mike that he's moving back. I think you did a trip down there, so you know what the situation was. He was not a happy camper, earlier. Just after it happened, I think that's a very debilitating thing to happen to you. But hopefully he'll be coming back. Maybe get back on the air. That'd be nice. But other things happen, I guess, and one loses one interest. Truth told, this was about the only time I get on now. I worked some DX the other day, worked a couple of Cuban stations, but I don't know, the drive, to add a few more for DXCC and everything, I can't get the hang of it, or I should say rekindle. I have on occasion showed people a picture, my 11th grade high school yearbook. The physics teacher wrote in my yearbook, she says, to one of my second period scholars who loves radio more than life itself. At the time, that was probably true, but that I could rekindle that anyway. But I'm working on another AC supply, ART-13. I had accumulated all the parts. What I didn't have was a big enough chassis with enough real estate on it to accompany or to have everything installed properly. So I took the time and I ordered a chassis. It was only like $37, and that wasn't bad. I forget the company, some electrical supply house had it. It's a Hammond chassis, and they're not cheap at all. I had some steel ones, but they're just not great for... I guess if you got a commercial metalworking shop, it's okay, but... And Greenlee punches will go through those okay, but I just prefer aluminum. So I ordered a chassis, and I'll be building up another ART-13 supply. What I call it is a DY17 eliminator. I use all the proper connectors and everything, so we'll see what happens on that. All I'll need then is another ART-13. Don't you know? But I'll give you guys a report next Saturday as to what treasures were seen and or procured at Vienna tomorrow. Okay, N1SNG in the old military radio net, K3HVG. And I did not copy Chris that time. Go ahead, Glenn.
Okay, K3HVG in the old military radio net, N1SNG. Well, thanks for the reports on Mike, WB3CTC. And yeah, that was a big game changer there. Wouldn't want that to happen anyway, anyone or anybody. Just kind of puts the brakes on things. Oh, well, hopefully he'll rekindle his interest in a sense to get back on the air, and be good to hear his voice on here. That's for sure. I think we used to talk about trains a lot too. I believe he was into the trains, and that was kind of cool, I thought. But anyway, you can tell him there's still a seat here with his name on it, so that'd be great to get him back into the hobby, for sure. And let me see what else is going on. Chris, as much as I got out of Chris's his transmission there was, he was up in Bolton, Massachusetts. I guess he's visiting his son, and it was kind of iffy there. I didn't get the whole gif of that, but anyway, he's hearing us okay, I guess, there. So anyway, good to hear AJ1G in the Mobile, yes. So with that, I think it's going to go over to N8 BNE at this time, so that's where I'll send it. If not,